I mean, there's levels because like you would figure there's like the larger group needs a good kick in the ass because that's a good nudge, right? That's a solid
Mm-hmm.
message. And then there's a small group of people who can't be helped, and those are the ones that throat punches are for.
And then there's those that just need a good bricking.
And there's those that need a good bricking, and it's a very specific range of people that we are speaking of.
Yes.
I'm not going to share that range because I'm not fucking stupid, but
I mean, it would be too on the nose to say like, well, you know who really has some ass kicking abilities? It's us because it's in our name or whatever. Like that's just a little too far, you know.
that might even be too far for us, and that says something.
That's saying a lot.
That's saying a whole lot.
You're so far past the line we can't even see that. The line is a dot to us.
Did you just get all math on us just now?
Nope.
Nice. Thank
We're
you.
so far over the edge that Wile E. Coyote is standing at the cliff and waving at us with a sign that just says, dude.
I'm laughing because that's a really weird segue to the bottom of my list.
Wait, we're not starting at the bottom, are we? Wait,
No,
we're not.
But
we haven't even told anybody what we're doing yet.
No,
we haven't even told anybody who we
far
are.
ahead. We're far ahead of far behind at the same time, which means we are the Fairly KickAss podcast.
Woohoo!
Always 3 steps ahead and 2 steps behind.
And now we're cha-chaing.
I'm sorry, that ended me. Me, by the way, Zach. Him is Jay, the cha-cha guy. The other guy's Dan. We make up your kick-ass crew on the good ship kick-ass, as it were. Today, we are talking about our Billboard re-ranks. We take the Billboard end-of-year list for any given year, re-rank it basically, because the list is always wrong. It's always incorrect. And we give you the correct listing of what those should be. As the gentleman alluded to, we look at the top and the bottom. We talk about those the most. We rank all 100 songs. It's not going to be exactly 100 for reasons we'll get into, but we talk about the best. We talk about the worst. And this year that we talked about was 2001.
Woohoo!
2001 was a weird year to talk about in the world of music because there was a lot going on. There was a lot of convergence. There were a lot of different styles, and there was a lot of transition from various styles that were becoming out of vogue to ones that were becoming more popular. Dan, I'll start with you. How did you feel overall about the year? Because I know there was the nostalgia factor as well that played into it, but what were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I struggle with that a little bit. I think more so than probably a lot of our times we do that. I don't know why it is, what it specifically is about this year. There's just so much that was here that made me go, oh God, because this is, I mean, we're peak high school, which is kind of one of those areas that just sticks in your brain throughout your development. At least musically, according to the studies we've talked about in the past year before. So the nostalgia factor was a lot harder to get over than in past years. The year factor was a lot harder to get over than in past years. If there was one year where the events of the world were going to play havoc with how we remembered music, going to be 2001.
I'm just grateful Ryan Adams didn't show up on the list.
Yeah.
We may have had to skip Bryan Adams if he showed up on the list.
Oh, there's that too. We did have to do some skipping as well. I'm sure we can get to that down the line too.
Yeah.
And then I'm ready to duck. If we were in the same room, I'm ready to be ducking because I know this is going to come. I wasn't prepared for this year to be as good as it was.
You don't have to duck for that.
Yes, I do.
Not from me.
Oh, I know. We did a pre-show interview.
I will say that exactly what you said about nostalgia, like that painted my view of this year for sure. So I don't know if I would have enjoyed this as much if I wasn't where I was in my life as a year-old young person in the year 2001. But yeah, it's hard to dissociate the two.
And I have a slightly different relationship with it from the nostalgia factor because 2001 was the first year that I really didn't listen to music on the mainstream level because I had waded shoulder deep into college radio, with the phrase elitism is still sexy beaten into my brain, and pop radio was just not a thing for me. You know, as I've now just admitted that I'm a couple years older than you guys, to everybody listening. So I have a different nostalgic look at 2001 than what you guys did. But that definitely played into it.
And that's really interesting because I am curious how that is going to paint. I know there are at least a few options in my top 10 that, like, probably in a vacuum are not going to make my top 10. But again, it's I had to take that personal vibe into focus for this one.
Yeah.
So the way we do this is we talk about our top of our list first. We go through our 10 through 6 in a rapid fire state. We then kind of go in a round for 5, 4, 3, and 2. We take a trip to the bottom of the list, which is usually 96 through 100. Again, this year, we'll go ahead and get into it now. There are several R. Kelly tracks on this list. The three of us had actually talked about it before and had decided that that was not something that we wanted to rank at all for obvious reasons. So we just left them off. We just left them off altogether. You know, it's certainly not like a finger wag sort of thing. It's just our own personal choice. So that's kind of where we fell in with it.
Yeah. And for me, that meant 3 songs as I went back through. I know there's the one that I had abandoned real quickly, and then the one with the featured artist, and then the one where he was the featured artist. And I know there's a version of the one without him, but that's not the one that charted. So I just decided to bail on it completely.
And that's exactly what I did too. That I felt that was the fairest way to handle it. It's perhaps unfair to the other artists involved in those tracks, but I think I think they're going to be okay. I think they're going to go to sleep tonight.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Although, since we're chatting about that song right now, because I just throw stuff on a playlist and I wasn't paying attention to what they came up. So, you know, as not making the conscious decision to listen to R. Kelly, but he showed up on the thing. And before I knew it was him on the track, the only note I made for that particular song was Jesus, fuck, this is bad. So it wouldn't have mattered. It might have been my number 100. No, that's not true. It would have been pretty low on the list regardless.
Yeah.
No offense to the Isley Brothers, but guys.
Not the track I thought you were talking about, to be honest.
Oh, no. That's yeah, sorry.
No.
Yeah.
I think we didn't name it. We could just call it what it is. I Wish was one of them.
Yeah, it was bad.
Fiesta with Jay-Z, which is an absolute abomination, regardless of whether R. Kelly's there or not.
Also bad.
And Contagious was the one that Jay was talking about.
Yep. Sorry, Isley Brothers. Sorry, Shantae Moore. Bad song.
Disagree, but then I also heard the version without R. Kelly on it. It's not anywhere near the top 10 for me, but
yeah, same.
Top 50, I think.
That's probably where I'd put it. Minus R, it's probably in the 30s. Yeah,
would have been right around 80 for me.
I'm just a Ronald Isley stan, so that's where I sit at. But none of that's here nor there.
Yeah, I was going to say, Zach, why don't you kick us off and tell us where you are in your 10 through 6?
Absolutely, yeah. So number 10, Drops of Jupiter, Tell Me by Train. A fun song that has a legit heartfelt meaning behind it, with also legit heartfelt personal meaning to me that's completely different than the heartfelt meaning in the song. So it was a very easy choice for me for the top 10. Number 9, because I couldn't help myself, Never Had a Dream Come True by S Club 7. I had to transport myself into 2001 me, who absolutely loved this song and loves ballads just as much as 2025 me does. The cheesier, the better. And boy, oh boy, is this a cheesy ballad, y'all. Yeah, this is not a objectively good song, but you know what? This was the one concession that I was willing to make to myself on this list. So here we are. That's Club 7 forever. Number 8, a objectively and subjectively better song, Get Your Freak On by Missy Elliott. Certainly not Missy's best work by any stretch of the imagination, but more than good enough to get a slot in my top 10. Number 7, Moby featuring Gwen Stefani with Southside. To be fair, a song that takes itself way too seriously, but is still in a vacuum a really fun and really cool listen. And my number 6, Outkast with Miss Jackson, which slots in at number 6 because I did not want to double up on artists in my top 5. Take that for whatever you will. And that gets us to our number 5, which is going to be a little bit nostalgic as well, in terms of this song makes me think of the lead singer of the band in question, the band being Incubus, the lead singer being Brandon Boyd, and a very weird specific memory of bowling with a friend of mine, I guess more of an associate in college, and just remembering, like, every time that I would see him, he would remind me of Incubus. He would remind me of this song. And it was a couple years after the song came out that I was in college, but the memory was still there. So, Steve, if you're listening, if really anyone named Steve, it may be you. You have no idea. But all the Steves in the house, thank you for the memory of Drive by Incubus. It's very similar to a lot of Incubus tracks. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying it in a good way. It's a beautiful song. It certainly fit the bill for what I would have liked and did like, back when it came out. It's a song that absolutely holds up in every way today. And I think it's one of Incubus's best, and certainly one of the best tracks on this 2001 end of year list.
I have no arguments about your Incubus choice. About your other choices, on the other hand.
Let's hear it.
Not all of them. And in fact, we'll get into a couple of those here very shortly, because I don't disagree with everything. I have Train at 26.
Nice.
Which I know Dan's going to have it lower than that. I do like that song. S Club 7 I have at 70.
Way higher than I expected.
I have Moby and Gwen Stefani at 91.
Wow, way lower than I expected.
I wrote, wasn't it nice of Moby to invite Gwen on the track, then completely bury her vocals? That was the only note I wrote on the track.
I can't disagree.
So, just to completely throw you off anyway, I had Train at 30, but it's also in a massive group of songs in that 20 to 30 area, because as far as I can tell, it is, but it was their last good one.
Yeah, agreed.
That's very fair.
And there was that. There were two tracks, actually, that I listened to and immediately wrote down number 50. You could not get any more middle of the road. And I don't want to mention the other one yet, because I don't know where they fall for you, but it was definitely Never Had a Dream Come True. I cannot think of a more ballad by numbers approach to a thing. By the way, this is also a 6-person vocal group. I can't guarantee there were 6 people on the track. There are 3 males in that group. They were in the video. I don't know if they were in the song.
That's pretty standard for an S Club 7 track.
You can at least hear.
Yeah.
You can hear, like, you can like, but it was the lead singer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're not coming to S Club 7 for harmony. I'm okay admitting this.
There's 6 of you. What else are you going to do?
Take turns. The only thing I wrote down was decent song, poorly executed.
I think that's probably fair.
Yeah.
And I am also, here's the thing. They have a couple of really catchy songs down the line that were well done.
From 5 years or so before that.
Sure. I don't know my S Club timeline that well. But
Zach.
I have been subjected to enough of them to know that they had other songs that probably should have been their American charting singles as opposed to this thing.
Yeah.
I've already forgotten the other one's song, so just we'll take it as wrote that I had no arguments against everything else.
Cool.
I feel like I got off fairly easy considering.
Yeah.
I will gladly take it. Jay, what about you? Or is there anything that we're going to be raising our eyebrows at, or do you feel pretty confident about your 10 through 6 and then your 5?
In this 10 through 6, I don't think there's anything that's going to be too surprising to you. I did start with I'm not going to start with a 3-way tie. I'm going to start with a 2-way tie at number 10, because I couldn't decide. And that would be Missy Elliott's Get Your Freak On and Maya's Case of the X. What you gonna do? Those are both brilliant songs, boundary pushing anthems. They're fresh, infectious classics. I listen to Maya all the time in the gym. It's weirdly motivating. I don't know why. And Missy Elliott's Get Your Freak On is just danceable as hell. At number 9, I put another danceable powerhouse. That would be Lady Marmalade, featuring a million people. It's explosive, Fashionable, vocal talent for days, undeniable energy. At number 8, I put Destiny's Child and Survivor. I don't really think I need to explain why. It's just a really good tune. And then at number 7, here's where Zach and I are going to have a little bit of a conflict, minor conflict. At number 7, I have Outkast and So Fresh, So Clean. It's a cool, laid back tune. The way Big Boy and Andre play off each other is magic. And it instantly puts you in a good mood when you listen to this song. At number 6, I have Nelly Furtado and Turn Off the Light. This might just be me. I know a lot of people don't care for this song, but I love it. It is pure 2000s magic. It's like a great blend of pop and R&B and world influences. It's dreamy and hypnotic, and it pulls you right in, and her voice is just captivating. So I love this song. I get that follow me, follow me, follow me, down, 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 down. I get that in my head, and I just can't get rid of it. Okay, so let me get to number 5. I honestly don't think we're going to get much argument on this one either. My number 5 tune for 2001 is Dido. Thank you. It's not flashy, but that's its strength. It feels genuine and relatable. It captures this pure moment of gratitude and reflection. It builds from the beginning to the end, and it just keeps drawing you into her emotional state. And it's just brilliant. And I love it, despite what Eminem did to it.
I can't argue that. I honestly do like Stan, to be totally honest, but yeah. I do think Thank You is a far better song for all the reasons you described.
Yeah, and it's not that Stan is a terrible song, but it does kind of completely flip the intent of it.
Right, yeah. Right.
So, there's that.
No, I don't have it. I do. And I don't know why. All I can think of to explain myself with it is it just is a pleasant song. I don't know, there should be more words. I don't know. You know what I mean? Just something who just catches you and you're like, oh, yeah, no. Yeah, okay. I like it.
Yeah.
And that's one of those.
I think one of the things for me with Dido was that by 2001, there weren't a lot of artists doing anything in the mainstream that was like trip hoppy. Like the Sneaker Pimps had gone away long before that, and they didn't go away. They just weren't in the charts anymore. So it was cool to have just like a downbeat, cool tempo, just vibe song hit the charts. And I'll be here for it. I love it.
Yeah, vibe is it's probably a term we overuse in today's society, but it's such a perfect description of this song. I will personally say that Nelly Furtado, I know you had mentioned Nelly's Turn Off the Light, just not for me. I don't know why. Neither Nelly Furtado nor Nelly St. Louis, I guess we'll call the other one, did particularly well on my re-rank with Where the Party At being the highest of the 5 Nellys at 45. Turn Off the Light was far lower, sitting at 86 out of 97. So, and that just may be a me thing. I'm fine with that, but just never really got into her. Never really got into her. Full stop.
It's fair. I love her voice.
I feel like her voice is probably I'd like to talk to other people because I feel like that voice would be very polarizing.
Agreed.
That it wouldn't necessarily be good or bad, just it either hits you right or it just doesn't. And certainly she's far from the only artist that you could say that about.
Sure. And honestly, that's the song in my 10 through 5 there that I knew was going to get a little bit of lip. Right. I knew that. But I like her. So that's where it goes.
Yeah, subjectively not my cup of tea. Objectively, the song is fine. It's perfectly lovely. So it's hard for me to really strongly come out after it. Dan, what about your 10 through 6 and your 5? Is there anything that we're going to come out after, or are you going to be pretty solid like most of Jay's 10 through 6 and 5 were?
I think y'all have some opinions, but my initial thought was I looked at it. I'm like, oh, I got a tie up here. So let's give a bonus one. And I'm like, okay, so technically, if you want to order these things out, my number 11 would be Eve 6 and Here's to the Night because it's an alt ballad done right. They make a big emotional sound. Then I looked at that. I'm like, wait a minute. That's not actually the tie for what would be 10. So I hope I can explain in this kind of how this year was for me without torpedoing too much of the rest of your list. So along with that, also that would have been in that range, tied at 10. Genuine and Differences. Shaggy featuring Rick Rock. It wasn't me. Pink, Most Girls. Music Soul Child. Love. Aerosmith. Jaded. Maya, Case the X. What You Gonna Do? Christina Aguilera, Lil Kim, Maya, and Pink and Lady Marmalade. Shaggy featuring Rayvon and Angel. Blue Cantrell, Hit 'Em Up Style. Eric Sermon featuring Marvin Gaye, Music. Tammy, A Stranger in My House. Craig David, Fill Me In. Matchbox 20, If You're Gone. And Brooks and Dunn, Ain't Nothing About You. That it probably is officially the record for the largest tie we have talked about on these lists.
I lost count. Was that like 11 or 12 way?
Something like that.
Nice. I dig it.
Well, can I argue against those right now?
Sure.
Actually, I don't have an argument against most of them. Eve 6 I have at 13, so we're right there. But Shaggy with Rick Rock and Brooks and Dunn I have at 88 and 89 respectively.
That's fine.
Where do I have those? Ain't Nothing About You I have at 26. That's a cool song. Like, for all of the country, and maybe that's a side discussion we'll have at some point of how many country songs were on this list.
There was a lot more than I remember.
Wild.
Yeah.
And some of them were okay. Some of them were better than others. Like, I have a few toward the top of the list, but that one to me was bland stacked on bland.
Oh, sir, if that was bland stacked on bland, let me ask you a question about a lot of other the country then.
Oh, no. We'll get there.
For sure.
All right, continue, sir.
I feel like I should just speed run through everything else like I have too. Because at number 10, it was Janet Jackson's comeback single, And All For You, a funky, fun, flirty lead-in for an album that explores some darker territory for her. At number 9, it's Eve featuring Gwen Stefani and Let Me Blow Your Mind, an actual banger where Gwen actually didn't get buried. At number 8, the number one song of the year, Lifehouse, Hanging by a Moment. And this is a song that grew on me after 2001. Like, once the whole overplay thing wore off and it was possible to respect this, is just a damn good pop rock song. Number 7, Jay-Z, Izzo. And so that sort of a theme of this year as you go through, an absolute banger that knew how to correctly use a sample, an absolutely biographical classic.
Emphatically nodding to that.
Yes.
For the listeners who can't see me.
I'm hoping that I'm hoping you may have more to say. At number 6, you've heard this before, one of the best remembered hip-hop tracks of the era and one of the most unique stories in a song. It's Outkast and Miss Jackson. And the best part is, I don't have to do a whole lot here for number 5. I mean, I can tell you this song's catchy as hell. I can tell you it's a very smartly written song. I could even go so far to call it an alt-rock masterpiece. I could tell you it was the final single to come off of Make Yourself. It was Incubus and Drive. And everything else that really needs to be said, Zach already did. So we're literally 2 for 10 right now in hitting the list exactly.
But if we were playing Wordle, though, like you and I, Dan, would have 2 green songs right now because our number 6 and number 5 are identical.
Yes. So you're going through them like, oh, cool. I don't have to do a whole lot of work on these 2.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
All right, let's see what else I can match up with you.
Yeah, I think there might be some. In fact, I know there are some as I look through the rest of my top 5. Let's go with my number 4, which is a song that hasn't been talked about yet on anyone's list, which is all well and good because I don't think there's a lot that can be said about my number 4. And for once, that's actually a fairly good thing. That song is Hemorrhage in My Hands by Fuel. And I say that there's not a lot that can be said about it because it's just really good at what it does. It doesn't win awards for vocals. It doesn't win awards for instrumentals. It doesn't win awards for lyrics or for overall sound, which would make you wonder, why is it your number 4 if it's not really good at any of those things? But I didn't say that. I said it won't win awards for any of those things. It is really good in all of those things. And the sum total of the song is leaps and bounds better than any of its individual parts. It's got that rock sound, that 2001 rock sound. You know it when you hear it. It's hard enough. It's like a Nestle Crunch bar. Like that's where we're at on the most scale. But it's where it's supposed to be. If it was any harder, it would be like, guys, pull it back a little. Come on. And if it was any softer, it was like, I need a little more. I need just a tiny bit more here. It's just like that perfect happy medium. It's certainly a song that doesn't really hold up in 2025. That part I will admit, but grading in terms of the year itself and specifically against other songs in the year, it is more than deserving of its number 4 place on my list.
Not only will I not argue about your pick, but Fuel's Hemorrhage in My Hands is my number 4 for 2001 for a lot of the reasons you just talked about. Honestly, like you say it doesn't hold up in 2025 standards, and I will say that it won't hold up. Like, it's not going to chart in 2025. Yeah. But I don't think that's the same thing. Like, I think even if it was released this year, I think Spotify would still be cranking it. Right? Like, people would still be listening to it. So I don't know that it doesn't hold up. But honestly, like as you're listening to the song and you just want to, like, when it's over, by the time it's over, you just want to offer Brett Scallions a throat lozenge and a hug. Like, he's so passionate in the song. Like, everything is laid out on the table. And I think it's compelling for that reason. It's powerful, it's memorable, and I think it still resonates now.
Hell yeah, dude.
I don't have a disagreement. It's not my number 4. So I can't go there, but mostly because I liked it so much. I think I might have like taken a couple points off just to try to offset the bias. Because I have it like 28 there, like 2 spots above where I had Train.
Yeah.
Well, what about if you don't have that at your number 4? What is your number 4?
Oh, my number 4, I believe, was your number 7. It wasn't the biggest hit off Stankonia, but I would call it the best. And it was Outkast. It's So Fresh, So Clean. And for 2 big reasons. And they're just simple. First and foremost, it's got a tremendous groove. Period. Like, you just can't not just get swept up and ride that groove. But also, you mentioned the way they go back and forth, and I love it because they also vary their flows in bouncing and back and forth, and it plays off each other so well while creating such a unique sound to do so as well.
Agreed.
And
you could set your watch to that beat. It's so intoxicating.
And if you want to put it, another thing that it shares in common with Drive, it's just a chill as hell song.
Yeah.
0 arguments at all.
Nope.
Do you want to start the arguments over your number 3?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I'm trying to remember if one of y'all had mentioned it before. I know he has been mentioned already in this episode. I don't know if this song, I think it has been. We will get into the muck and mire of Jay-Z's catalog a little later on. But for right now, I want to center on the good. I want to center on Jay as storyteller. I want to center on Jay as pontificator. Jay as savior of the Cold Crush brothers, which, by the way, Grandmaster Caz still has not gotten that check, Jay. Write the damn check to the man. He deserves it. I'm talking about Izzo, HOVA, of course. And I wrote this before Dan even mentioned what he did, but this is the best sample on this list by a nautical mile. Paired with Hove with some of his hoviest bars in his catalog, it's just an absolute masterpiece. It's a perfect song, and it's, you know, one of the peaks of one of the best to ever do it.
I don't have an argument. I do think it's really funny that you commented that it's him at his hoviest. Because like I have it at 16 on mine. So like it's right there. But as I comment, you know, I make little notes, right? And I wrote like the how awesome the hook is and the sample being so fucking tight. But then I wrote something about like the song is a little self-aggrandizing and there's no other content. Like, it's just him being him about him.
Yep.
Have you heard his catalog?
Well, yeah, and we've done stuff about his catalog before, and I have my preferences. It's still a banger. Just for me, it's not his best work, but lyrically, not his best work.
It's weird, right? Because like I usually am not a fan of like that self-aggrandizing style. For Jay, somehow it just works. Like I feel like he's at the top of his game when when he's just, with the exception of his bars on Never Let Me Down, which were just took the song to an entire different stupid way where it didn't need to be. But yeah, everything else, like it's just flex. It's pure flex the whole way through.
Yeah, it's not self-aggrandizing in the same way that Trick Daddy's I'm a Thug is self-aggrandizing. But
No. Fair.
Oh, shout out Slip and Slide All Stars, man, forever.
Can I add?
Oh, please.
I was saying, can I add one more quick reason to enjoy it too?
Of course.
Apparently, when it came out, Michigan State's basketball players would constantly sing it at their coach, Tom Izzo, and that annoyed him to no end. And if there is a man who deserves to be annoyed to no end, he's one of them.
I need to know that this happened when they were away at Maryland, because that would just make it so perfect. Jay the host, not Jay the artist. What hit your number 3?
I can do this very quickly because it's been talked about twice. My number 3 track is Drive by Incubus. Again, I know that's not a surprise to anyone, but it's a wonderful tune. I still play it just about every time I perform live. If it doesn't get requested, I shoehorn it in there somewhere. And I lyrically, it's Brandon Boyd at his absolute best. It's not goofy like some of the stuff prior to that, but it is not that I dislike the goofy. I love the goofy. It's captures his poetic genius as well as the melodic genius. The song is meaningful and powerful and just fun to listen to. So aces.
Brand synergy between the three of us on that one. In all of our top 5s. That is rare, to be totally honest. I feel like,
yeah, but truthfully, I'm not surprised on this list.
Agreed. Yeah, it's interesting to always think of like, where would this song fit in other lists of other years? Because we've done some great years and we've done some terrible years. This I don't think is the worst by far, but yeah, it's always interesting. Like, is this number 1 on a different year? Is this in the top 5? So
yeah, I think we'll say that. Although there was the expectation that this was going to be a dog of a year, and then apparently, at least for 2 of us, came in and went, oh, okay, all right,
yeah.
Rare for me to think less of a year than the 2 of you. It's usually vice versa,
right?
Because we're the angry old men in the room.
Yes, exactly. But it was a very fun year, regardless of how good or bad I thought it was. So,
well, let's get to the good stuff on the peak curmudgeons list over here. Let's see what Dan's got at number 3.
I don't know if I should be offended or proud of that.
I mean, you made the persona yourself, so
I know.
Go for proud.
I know. I just add it because, again, it's one that's already been mentioned, which makes this whole thing much easier. And again, the synergy is unintentional, but it is what it is. And if there was a better track in multiple ways to kind of kick the door in for Missy Elliott, let's get your freak on. I mean, I agree with Zach that she will and did have better, but man, first, what a bomb to drop on dance floors across the country. To lead in with one of the most unforgettable hooks. Like, you don't have you hear the first like 2 notes, you're like, oh, okay, we gotta hit the floor. Now this is it. So
I'm
much so
right
that exactly, and so much so that in re-listening to the track was I reminded that Luda had a guest verse. Completely forgot.
Yep.
And that says something if you have a song so good that Ludacris is relegated to the he was on there. He was there too.
I think the track is good in spite of Luda.
Damn.
Come on. Where do you have Southern hospitality?
Let's see. Oh, hang on. That was the wrong thing. I actually don't know.
I'm gonna have to go a ways.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
40.
That's higher than I have it.
Worse for me. Far worse.
So
we'll talk later.
I'm not a Luda hater. Jesus.
Oh man. I mean, I guess since we already kind of cracked open the bottle talking about samples, do we have to get a shout out to Bubba Sparks as we
may as well?
No, we don't.
Okay, good. Just making sure.
Right. Yeah, we're good there. You're all right there.
Let's shout out number 2, though.
Yes,
Yeah, let's do
indeed.
that.
Let's do that. It's going to be easier for me because, again, with the synergy, already one that we've talked about, and it's Thank You by Dido. It is a song that as we talked about, the sample of this being used in Eminem Stan, that was certainly the first instance I heard of this. And even from jump, I was like, this song is cool, but I really love the hook. What is this hook? I have to figure it out. And once I heard the full song from Dido, it was just like, yeah, this is just beautiful. It was heart-wrenching in parts. It was super touching in parts. But it also just had a really kind of hopeful message that, like, no matter how shitty things get, like, there's going to be someone that can pull you back from that can, be the one that makes it all better. So it's cool to think that such a thing, might exist. And I think Dido just sung it perfectly, understated and just beautiful. Great song.
Agreed. No notes.
Well, then, since we've already covered that one, Jay, are we also going to be rehashing your number 2, or is this something new to us?
We are not going to be rehashing it. It's a new one for the list.
Nice.
It's a tune that makes you want to grab your besties and hit them all for some retail therapy, even if you don't have a cheating partner to spite. That's Blue Cantrell and Hit 'em Up style. Listen, this chorus is so ridiculously catchy. Blue's delivery is perfectly indignant and confident, and you can't help but cheer her on as she racks up those charges. Seriously, if you've ever felt wronged, this song is the ultimate financial revenge fantasy set to a beat. And it is so good.
This song for me was like, I had it penciled in as my absolute middle of the road song. Unfortunately,
Until you listen to it again.
well, the problem for me was I didn't know how to do math, and I didn't know what the middle of the road of 97 was, so it ended up at 51.
Oh,
which is close.
It's close.
To my credit, it's close. Yeah, it's fun. It's catchy. It's everything you said it was. It's a cool revenge tune. And it's just, yeah, it's a fun track. I have no problems with it.
And I mean, it's a type of revenge tune that we didn't have enough good ones.
Yeah,
at the time,
for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm starting to think, Zach, like, we like different styles of voice, because I think, like, I love Blue's voice, and I think, like, the Blue Cantrell, the Nelly Furtados, like, I think we just have a different tone of voice that we go for.
I'm trying to think, because like Nelly Furtado's voice definitely is one that clashes with my brain. I don't know that Blue Cantrell's is. Maybe subconsciously it is. I didn't think about it from that angle. Yeah, I'd be curious to hear, like, and obviously we don't have enough time on this show, but some of the other pop vocalists on this list may also fall into a similar category. So I'd be curious if some are hits or misses for either of us, just based on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun track, fun pick. Dan, is your number 2 pick as fun as Hit 'em Up style? Oops.
Yes. It was actually probably, you could call it one of the best party tracks of the year. Maybe one of the best party tracks of the decade. One of the best I'm Back singles. And absolutely one of the best vocals of the year. I hope I'm not usurping too much here, because it's Mary J. Blige and Family Affair. Built on an understated beat from Dr. Dre. I wish I could remember. I wish I remember where I could find that quote again. Oh, Stereo Gum. And I think it describes it perfectly. It's the beat is an absolute product of its time, and it sounds like it's always existed. Like, it's timeless, and that it also screams 2001, and it's perfect. And it does exactly what it is, bringing in the funk elements, bringing in the R&B. And have I mentioned how goddamn good Mary's vocals are? Managed to be both overstated and understated at the same time, gritty and smooth, and of course that power that feels effortless. She's blowing the doors off the room and doesn't feel like she's breaking a sweat in doing so.
No notes.
Yeah, one that when I first went through this list, had ranked far too low. I think it was down in the 50s. And It was one of those where you're like looking through the list and kind of like, oh, this song, Family Affair. What the hell is Family Affair doing all this way down? That's a problem. We need to fix that. Ended up at number 27, which still feels too low, to be perfectly honest, just because of how stratospheric a track it was and how stratospheric Mary J was and is as an artist.
Yeah, I have it at 20.
Okay.
So, yeah, and again, that's another one where like between 10 and 20 could easily be the same number.
Sure. I feel like there's a good chunk of my list that I could easily argue between like 1 and 30, kind of interchangeable.
You already did that. Like, you
I know.
just listed everything.
I know. Did I tell you I unironically liked a lot of 2001, apparently.
Yeah.
But there's stuff we didn't like, right?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there is.
So as we look towards the bottom of the list, do we want to do the bottom 10, like the bottom 9 in rapid fire, and then the number 97, as it were, in a little bit longer form, or do we want to do the bottom 5 instead? Where are y'all landing at?
I'm okay just running right to the bottom here.
Yeah, I only did 5.
Okay.
5 I'm not as interesting. I don't have any rants this time, so sorry.
No. I think I've got, I probably have more on the bottom than I do on the top, but I will run through my bottom 5 here. We're going to start at 93 with Irresistible by Jessica Simpson, which honestly, as I went through and put this where it is, I realized that I kind of had to give her credit, because shitty songs like this not only led to a pop music career, but also led to a country music career and a television career. Like, can I hate on that kind of success regardless of what the genesis of it was?
Yes.
Well, I had trouble doing that. So I actually moved it in the moment from 93 up to 83 to get it out of the bottom 5, and instead replaced it with Danger by Mystical, which is also a shit song and absolutely deserves to be in the bottom 5. So welcome to number 93, Mystical.
Indeed.
At 94, the muck that I was talking about from earlier, I Just Want to Love You, Give It to Me by Jay-Z. No, Jay, no. How can you put out Izzo and this? It's so frustrating. Like, from a different artist, this is probably in like the 70s. I'm grading on a curve, and Jay-Z absolutely deserves me to do that. But like, it's one of his worst as far as lyrics and flow go. And production wise, it's one of Pharrell and Chad Hugo's worst as the Neptunes as well. It's just a awful track all around. 96, much for the same, or sorry, 95, because I don't know how to count. Nelly with I don't know if you run them all together, if you pronounce them each individually. I'm going to quote producer Nikki here on this one, where she said his ugh at the beginning describes how I feel about the song. And I couldn't put it any better. I could not put it any better.
That's good.
96, this one was for much of the same reason as I Just Want to Love You solo. This is Bootylicious by Destiny's Child. There are so many other great Destiny's Child tracks, including on the same album, Survivor. But to pair this horseshit of a song with a sample from a legendary track like Edge of 17 is just really hard to overcome as a listener. Like, y'all are capable of so much better than this. And perhaps it's unfair of me to put it at the bottom, but it deserves to be there. But not the very bottom, because we still have to go through number 97, which I realize now that I had written something for my top or my bottom 10. So when I say, oh, hey, it's Lifehouse again, it doesn't make a lot of sense without me reading that Hanging by a Moment was my number 91, and that I couldn't really tell the difference between Lifehouse and Lone Star. But here we are with who I think was Lone Star in this song, and that's I'm Already There. It was one of those contrived songs that's supposed to be about feels, but is actually just as inane, flavorless, and bereft of structure as a house made of cooked spaghetti. Lead singer Richie McDonald begs you, listener, pleads you, to know that he was there before you were. Like, so what, bro? You hit a better traffic pattern. I don't need you to tell me a whole ass song about it. Come on, let's move it along. According to Wikipedia, this is considered one of Lone Star's darker songs, which to me was the darkness equivalent of sitting under a Wile E. Coyote-style umbrella in Tromsø, Norway in the middle of June. Not very dark. Not very dark. And honestly, I have no idea where to go after that, which is just as well, because with this being the bottom of my list, I'm already there.
You're proud of that, aren't you?
So fucking
I got no beef with your bottom of the list. I have Lone Star at 86. I had Just Want to Love You a little higher for whatever reason. Like I think I wanted to give Jay more of a benefit of the doubt there. So I have it up at 58. But I did write, the only note I wrote was, it sucks that Bad Boy Style had influence over Hova.
That's so good. It's so true too.
Yeah, no real arguments about anything you got down there.
No, everything you just said is 80 and below for me. So in a rare, this is rare too, that we don't have one that I've got so far up that I talked about it early in the show, and then you come back and shit on it at the bottom of the show. It's that usually there's one where we have that hard flip.
Yeah.
Not as, but also I don't have to repeat as many of those as you do there, which is fun.
Yeah, I got no repeats either. That's pretty funny too.
Let's go.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
I got one.
Yeah, I did have Bootylicious a little higher than that. Like that one I gave a little more credit, even though the sample's bad. It's not their best work. It's still fun. So I gave it more points.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, I mean, go ahead and hit us with your bottom five. Tell us what you gave less points to.
Well, we talked about how I had Moby at 91 and I put Southern Hospitality at 92. So we're not going to talk about those, but that's what I have. Number 93 to begin my bottom five, I have Lil Romeo and My Baby. Do you think Ms. Peaches ever regretted that the biggest hit of her career didn't have her name on it and included her trying to mac on an 11-year-old? Just food for thought. At number 94, I have O-Town and All or Nothing.
Boo this man. Boo.
Listen.
Exactly.
Bite me. This song is an unsettling dive into emotional gaslighting wrapped in a saccharine pop package. Like the actual audacity of these lyrics, like delivered with all the conviction of a boy band trying to hit their marks. But this protagonist is so utterly self-absorbed that he believes his partner's memories are an inconvenience to his fragile ego. This is a red flag waving furiously in the wind.
Can I be completely honest with you here?
You have it at 11, don't you?
No. No. For whatever reason, it was that one odd boy band song that just kind of got randomly stuck in with a positive memory. And it literally wasn't until 3 days ago listening to this that I actually sat and listened very closely to the lyrics and went, oh, this is a problem. Like,
yeah, it's bad.
It's not, yeah. Like I still have to break that whole like, oh yeah, this is the one that you weren't that guilty thing. But now that I've listened to it carefully, that's
it's a tough sell.
That's a hard sell there. I'm more worried we're gonna end up with her cat nailed to the door or something with this guy.
Jesus Christ. Sitting right here.
I didn't see
He's
yours.
Sitting right there. Cover your ears,
right.
Willoughby.
Before we get too far off the rails here.
Yeah, please.
At number 95, I have Blake Shelton and Austin, which is sort of a fever dream of cobbled together, discarded country cliches. Like, from the moment it begins, like it's just a whole bunch of random nonsense thrown together in a lyrical labyrinth and nothing connects, at least until the bridge where we get like this merciful offering of something vaguely resembling structure. It's bad. It's a testament to like how many words can be strung together without actually saying anything. That's Blake Shelton. At number 96, I have Mariah Carey featuring Cameo and Loverboy. Oh my God. This is what happens when an artist, probably blinded by the sheer wattage of their own star power, loses all sense of direction and good taste. I wrote, this doesn't just flirt with mediocrity, it proposes to it, buys it a house, and settles down for a long, uninspired life together. Can
I just give you one pure explanation here?
You can try.
No, explanation, not anything else. I don't know when this track, it's like, I have it like 85. It's down there.
Okay.
I don't remember when this track came out. Let's not forget Glitter came out that September. So everything you just described, it's like, yeah, she was going full circle in that feeling there.
True. I think the biggest part for me about that song is that how impressive her vocals are usually, and then on this song they're reduced to a series of breathy, unconvincing pleas that make you want to offer her a glass of water and a nap. I was really on this kick about like offering things to people when I was writing this.
No, that goes hand in hand with the note that I wrote for her, because I had it at number 89. I said, what's worse, the sample, the waste of Mariah's legendary vocals, or the sample? Hard to say.
Yeah. It's good.
Now I regret that I could not find a song that I could appropriately offer someone a Panadol and a mid-strength beer.
Well, actually, that kind of works for my number 97. Follow Me by Uncle Kracker. That rogue flip-flop on a sandy beach. It's the musical equivalent of an uniced pina colada served in a dirty glass. It's a parrot squawking relationship advice. You could imagine Jimmy Buffett, after a few too many margaritas, penning something similar to this ode to, I'm assuming, marital mischief, albeit with more steel drums and a few less, everything that makes a song enjoyable. It's basically, this is an ode to infidelity. It's encouragement to seek out, just don't. It's a terrible song. It's not only like saccharinely laid out, it's so like over the top, like Sugar Ray, but without the charisma. There's nothing about this song that is enjoyable. I hate it all.
Zero arguments. I had it at 84, mainly because I didn't want to have to write about something where there was so little substance there to write about.
The song is a Shirley Temple light on the temple.
This is what offer him the beer and say, go back to the beach. You stay over there.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
There
For
you go.
sure.
Stay off my playlist.
Dan is that was 97, right? I didn't miscount.
Yeah, that was it. That was all mine.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for myself.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Yeah,
you're good. I didn't want to step on you. That's all.
Appreciate that.
All right. I ran through, and thankfully, I got some stuff to tee off on from y'all, so that helps. But one song nobody mentioned, I had at number 88, and it's Faith Hill, and There You'll Be. This song is as much of a watered down My Heart Will Go On as Pearl Harbor was a watered down Titanic.
I don't even know what to do with that.
If you're gonna do the big movie ballad, it has to swell to something. Like there has to be this big build, and then you hit, and you like for Celine hits in the "You're Here," and she is blasting you off the deck of the ship, and Faith never gets there. Like you get to the line that's supposed to be the memorable line, and it's the backside of the line, and it's on the come down, and it's not even that good of a come down. Because everywhere I am, there you'll be. We go right back to the Stalker song, but it's supposed to be a ballad. It's not, but like that's what that's how that ends to me.
Yeah, I was going to ask y'all about the movie tie-in, because I didn't know if either of y'all have seen Pearl Harbor. I obviously haven't, because I don't watch movies, but I didn't know like at what point the song played. It didn't really seem like a crescendo-y song, just like you said.
No, it's not, but that's what that's the spot that it occupied.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there were some choices made in that movie.
We could do an entire show in itself on the choices made in that movie. And how every single one of them was wrong.
Yeah, we don't really have to do that because Trey Parker already wrote that song.
True story.
It's accurate.
Extremely. No notes, Mr. Stone. At number 89, I have 3LW, No More, Baby I'ma Do Right. And honestly, its biggest sin, it just may have been too sparse and too to get out of the bland end of the curve, and it just kind of ended up down here.
Yeah. So I have it at 72.
Okay.
78. So yeah,
Okay.
we're right down towards the bottom.
I enjoy that. I'm naming new songs at least. At number 90, Madonna, and Don't Tell Me. I didn't know that country trip hop was a thing. And after hearing her do this, I'm still not sure that it is. But I do know that all the music critics that praised her for it then were wrong.
I bet this was like a 9.8 on Pitchfork.
I probably.
I don't want to tell you where I have it.
Come on.
I have it at 48, but I honestly,
That's all right. It's all
I
right.
did not write a note, so I don't know why I put it there.
It's okay. Songs just get in the shuffle. Look, there's 100 songs you got to rate. Sometimes it's shuffled around. It's fine.
It's right there tied with Travis Tritt.
Oh, okay.
That's fair. That's super fair.
Number 91. I thought of something while you were talking. I have the Pina Colada song. Just take away the class, the humor, and even the hint of a possibility of fun. It's Uncle Cracker and Follow Me.
Yeah. Andy P.
Yeah, so true.
Number 92. Tim McGraw, Grown Men Don't Cry. This is what I wrote listening to this. I might be having a bad day, but half of this seems so wholly disingenuous.
Yep.
Yeah, no arguments again. 66 for me, but it could have easily been 86.
83. With you.
The only agreement we had there at number 93, it's Destiny's Child and Bootylicious, because sure, there were a lot better songs on that. The sample is terrible. The vocals really aren't that great, and it's not even good for a novelty song, which is exactly what it is. So, yeah, no, don't do that.
It's fine. I think it was fine as a novelty song, but that's about it.
This is where we're going to keep clashing here the next few here.
Mm-hmm.
Until we get to number 97. But at number 94, I have Travis Tritt, It's a Great Day to Be Alive. So here's what I wrote my initial listen through. And this is the thing. I asked 3 questions about this song. 1, is this sarcasm? 2, is this happy? Because when I think of songs that are this happy, that are this proclaiming, I think of the customer service at Chick-fil-A, to where they are so fucking nice to you that none of it is real. It's all disingenuous, and they're just like every other fast food worker. You walk in the door, they automatically hate you until the second you leave. But they do it through those big toothy smiles and the pleasure to serve you. Like, fuck you, no, it wasn't. Just thank you, you're welcome, get the fuck out the store. That's all I need.
So you're saying Travis Tritt was on CCTV when he recorded the song? Someone was watching him.
Possibly.
Blink if you need help.
What an image. Oh my God.
And the third thing I wrote about this song was, who the fuck cooks rice in the microwave? So I was listening to the lyrics, and for whatever reason, that is the lyric that burrowed its way into my brain.
I mean, that may have been the year that Uncle Ben started making microwavable rice. Who knows?
I actually admit I feel bad by number 95, so I'm just going to say it and move on, because apparently the lead singer passed away this past week, so I'm not going to go too far into why City High, What Would You Do, is that low for me, but I wasn't vibing with it.
R.I.P. I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know either. I have it at 75 as well. It doesn't make it a good song.
No, that's what I said, but I didn't want to go in on it.
Fair enough.
Fair.
I will go in on my number 96, because in fact, her voice is in fact very polarizing. It is all negative. What the hell is happening on Nelly Furtado's Turn Off the Light? You mentioned it's got all these things in, it's blended these influences. Yes, and they all conflict with each other.
Disagree.
And then her voice. Her voice is an audible cheese grater to my eardrums. And I didn't move anything just because you had something that was there the whole time. It was not just to spite you.
But I believe you.
I will give you the props for my number 97 as the absolute bottom of the barrel that we were reviewing for this year. The note I made when I was listening is that this is the most ridiculously written song I have heard in a long while. And the frustrating part was it was this close to being self-aware. And then it went right over the cliche cliff because it's Blake Shelton and Austin. So let me lay something out to everybody. And if you are listening in this decade, you may not know that the voicemail thing on your phone used to be a whole separate machine. Okay. And that's what this whole song is based around, the concept of the answering machine. Sure. Let's remove all the cliches. Jay already said enough about them. They are plentiful. They are meaningless when stacked up one upon each other. I just want to hit the concept of this. This man is leaving the message on his answering machine, which is really just, hey, when you say, hey, this is so-and-so, leave your name and number after this, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks. And then it beeps, because that's all that thing is for. And this motherfucker is leaving his calendar for the goddamn week on this thing, which, who the fuck, okay, conceptually, who even fucking does that? And then you get to the middle part where it was almost self-aware. Like, I was waiting for the turn and waiting for this mystery dude who the whole idea is his girlfriend breaks up. She needs space to find herself, moves to Austin. At some point, she calls him. I don't know if she wants to talk to get back, whatever, or just to say hello. And this is when this woman gets his week of activities. And also, by the way, I still love you. Because who the fuck does that? Speaking of waving giant red flags.
Psychos.
But then it says it there. She heard, but she couldn't believe what kind of man would hang on that long. And I agree. But then the next line doesn't get the message is, what kind of love must that be? The creepy kind. Thanks. That's confirmed. That's where that is.
Yeah.
And then, of course, because it's a sappy cliche country love song, she finally does reach him, and I assume, rainbows and butterflies were flying out of everyone's ass.
Because it has to be the happy ending.
There has to be a happy ending. Not the whole the unrequited love of someone with the inability to move on or even attempt to move on, because I have to let her know that I'm gonna be at the ball game on Friday just in case. It's been 3 years, but I gotta let her know, because you don't know. You never know. You don't know.
You just don't know. I mean,
you just don't know. What I do know is this is the fucking worst written song, the hit song of the year. That's what I know.
It's every line of the song is a non sequitur. Like, it's just like a dartboard. Like, you threw darts at a dartboard linked with country phrases on it, and then stitched them together with a threadbare melody. That's all they did. The writers of this song, I don't know if Blake wrote it himself. Whoever wrote it should be embarrassed.
Seriously.
They're not, but
they're not. Be. No, they're not, because I'm sure they made bank.
Yeah, totally.
I'm sure he's still making bank on it.
Yeah, his first big single, like he absolutely is making bank.
It's crap. I'm with you.
I wish we could go back to the days of answering machines. Like, just as a bit, I would absolutely leave my weekly schedule on the answering machine for anyone who called.
And make up a fictional character to say, and just in case this is you, I still love you.
I wouldn't put it past me.
No, I mean, possibly, but you have to change it up. So 1 week it's just in case this I love you. It'll be, hey, if this is Dave, you stole me $10, asshole.
Oh my gosh, this wasn't. If my personal cell phone wasn't also my work cell phone, I would strongly consider this.
The closest to that I ever got on my personal, which ended up being my cell, is, yo, this is Dan. You know what to do. Beep.
I remember that.
Because guess what? Everybody fucking knows what to do at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
That might not have been true in 2001.
I mean, they've been rolling since the 80s at that point. Like, I think the mass consumer acceptance was like the early 80s or mid 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So, good 15 years in, I think most people had figured it out.
That's what I said. They're fucking figured it out.
That's what I said.
You know what I figured out?
What'd you figure?
I figured out that we need to talk about our number ones, though.
Yes, please.
That's actually a good point. I think we can do that, and I think I can be the one to do it quickly this time, because you two have already discussed this song. If you remember my really shitty foreshadowing from several minutes ago, then you'll know exactly what track this is. It is Outkast. It is so fresh. It is so clean. It's an absolutely seminal work. On an absolutely seminal work, talking about both the track and the album Stankonia. Big Boy and Andre 3000 go off on topics such as zippers, patty melts, and Chicken Little, with all topics delivered by, from their own very truthful admission, the coolest motherfuckers on the planet. The whole album is a gem, and for my money, So Fresh, So Clean was the jewel of the crown.
Oh, I'm going to disagree with you.
Ooh, tell me why you think it's Spaghetti Junction.
I think that the crown jewel is Miss Jackson. You guys have talked about that one too. Like, that's the one for me. Heartfelt, catchy, even if you've never had to apologize to your baby mama's mama.
Mama.
No, it's a complex, very specific personal situation that those, as you put it, coolest motherfuckers on the planet, they turned into a universally recognizable feeling of navigating a complicated relationship. And it makes you want to bop your head while you do it. So also when that chorus hits, like, seriously, come on. Ooh. Just saying.
That's good. How can I argue against Miss Jackson being a banger though? Like it's 1 and 1A. I think
that's why I couldn't. That's why it was just sitting out there, right there, and right outside the top 5.
Yeah.
Well, Jay, we know that this is not your number one. What is your number one track of the re-rank of 2001?
Oh, did I not specify? That's Miss Jackson. Ooh.
I just wanted to hear it again. Oh, what a fantastic album, front to back too.
Right?
Seriously.
Dan?
Well, yeah, I don't think Dan can make it a three-peat. I think we've already heard both of those tunes on his list already.
Indeed. So instead, I think I've mentioned a couple times that a good way, especially on this list, that the amazing way to get up at the top was to have an amazing set of vocals, which is exactly what Alicia Keys did with her debut single off of Songs in A minor. Number one is clearly Fallen. And all I should have to say is, have you listened to her vocals? And there you go. But I mean, an absolute heartbreaker of a song. An anthem for self-destructive love that blends in blues and neo-soul and gospel and still has enough left over to continue just that the power in her voice to continue just hit you in the chest every single time. Yeah, it's just kind of one of those you listen to, like, you're kind of in awe.
Number 12 for me. I mean,
33.
Yeah, I don't feel bad about shitting on Nelly Furtado.
No. I mean, I made no notes, so I don't have a reason why I have it where I do. But I love her voice. I absolutely love Alicia Keys' voice. I've always loved Alicia Keys' voice, and will forever love Alicia Keys' voice. The song just doesn't hit me.
Yeah, I think what you said, Dan, like resonates the most for me specifically. Like, we all know Alicia Keys and how illustrious her voice is, how illustrious her catalog is. This was her debut single and off of her debut album. And she sounded like this off the rip. Like it's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
It's a heck of an opening statement to make.
Seriously. Like, here I am. I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
Ooh, good shit, boys.
Probably the most samesies we've had.
Yeah.
Of any of these re-rack lists, which is impressive, despite the fact that one of us was kind of iffy on the year.
Yeah, I think after having this episode, I think I've come back around at least a little bit to the line of thinking that the two of you had on it.
Yeah, better than what memory would have said.
Yes,
agreed.
I think so.
1,000%
absolutely.
Agreed. Well, listeners, especially listeners of a certain age, if you remember this year as we do, if this was, kind of more of a formative part of your childhood / adulthood, or if you were just too old or too young to remember it, we're always curious to hear what you think and how the songs hit you. Did we get it right? Did we get it wrong? What would your number one be? Dan, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you mid that. That was my way of saying I could do this.
Oh, yes.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah. Well, for anyone who does want to hit us up and let us know what y'all think, at Fairly Kickass on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. I almost said Blue Talk. That's not a thing. It might be a thing in one point at some day. It's not a thing yet. Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, at Fairly Kickass will get you to us. fairlykickass@gmail.com, fairlykickass.com. And Jesus Christ, what the hell is wrong with you, Brain? Do the things. You've done this 1,000 times, Brain. Do the things. Dan,
you should write yourself a card.
Yeah. Tag in, please. I apparently need the help.
What Stumbles was trying to say over there is that the quickest way to do it is hit us up on all the socials. We are at Fairly Kickass on Blue Sky, on Instagram, on Threads, and on TikTok. Of course, fairlykickass.com for all your ride-along playlist needs. And if you really feel the need to email us, I'm shooting from the hip here. It's fairlykickass@gmail.com.
Nailed it.
Uh-huh.
Hey, I can still pitch out. Let's go.
Far better than whatever drivel I was saying. Gosh, I was going to have the users on Grok before too long. The way
good Lord.
Christ almighty. Any parting words on those terrible notes before we adjourn?
Just that I'm like a bird. I only fly away.
You're cut here. I'm just glad no one had to talk about how did.
I hope Nikki bleeps those parts, how bleep did bleep. They'll never know.